welcome back. I'm Nicole, a cottage witch, and today I am really tired. I've been doing a lot of gardening and cleaning up my balcony and stuff, and pigeons. Anyway, I think I will probably add this video on to the tail end of a garden update, but these are a few of my favorite things from March. I don't know if you could hear that. There's a dog barking in the hallway. Anyway, favorite things from March. This month I found myself using all sorts of different rocks for, I don't know if you want to call it like meditations or, well, sometimes meditations, sometimes memory like links. So these ones I've been using to meditate on the changing of the season from winter to spring. So there's a black tourmaline that's actually tumbled, which is unusual because usually they flake so much. Moss agate, which I love. I think it's probably not one of my favorites. Well, these two are my favorites. And then I have no idea what this is because I'm not a geologist and I can't identify rocks I find outside, but it's beautiful yellow and oranges and actually quite shiny in the middle. So those have been hanging around. I've also, I don't think I still have the candle holder, but I finished, so I've got a couple of these candles from Hegsweg, the, what's it called, subscription box. Although I don't really know what's going on with them because I say them, it's a one-person business, but she hasn't been responsive lately, and I stopped getting boxes and I don't know why, and I can't check my status on the website, so I don't know what's going on with that. But this is a communion one, a plant communion one. But there was another crone one, which I was using, but it was still more wintry out. The snow has started melting now a little bit, which is lovely. So I've been using, I think this is black obsidian, and also I think, is it, maybe moss agate, I can't remember. Anyway, this one was in the crone candle. So I've been hanging out with these and then also burning this plant communion candle as I've been doing some transplanting of my seedlings, which are doing really well. It's lovely. So those are fun. And then I've had these, I was using as I was reading through Read Like the Devil. And then I seem to have misplaced another rock I was using as I was reading Dreams of Being Eaten Alive, the Kabbalah book, but I don't know where I put them. But there were a couple other rocks for that. And I was just sort of using them as memory devices, like when I hold them and touch them. And then I sort of like mentally focus on, like it brings my focus back to what I was reading the last time I was reading those books. So that's been interesting because my memory is terrible. So I'm working on that. I also have a couple of rocks I've been using for a pathworking sort of meditation. Which way does this open? This way. And these two are only ever used for that, and they're kept in this little green box that I found at Value Village, I think, one day. It's sure cute though. And yeah, so these are for that meditation, bit of, well, pathworking situation. Yeah, and along with this, I've been using, well, this and the crone candle, this sort of overlapped a little bit. So I was using Beneficium as I've been learning about poisonous plants. And this is also from one of these Hegsweg boxes. It's lovely. It smells very strongly, so I only wear it at home when I'm working on something, but yeah, that. And then the other things I've been using are Hypnos, a Lucid Dreaming Pillow Spray by Earth and Alchemy, which is actually the same as Hegsweg, but Earth and Alchemy is their her products that are sold at a local metaphysical shop. And this one is lovely. It is very wormwood, mugwort, blue lotus, and valerian. So I use this at the end of the day for meditation as well as this flying oil, which is my own recipe. And I just made it into a balm that I put, I think, too much beeswax in because it's a bit too thick, but oh well. Yeah, I like that one. And then I've been using, because it's finally almost spring, but not spring enough, because for goodness sake, I live in Canada and winter just never ends here. I mean, there were seasons this spring that were actually too warm, like warmer than they should have been, and some of the trees started budding and things, and yeah, I don't know how that's going now that it's been snowing for a while. Hopefully they're okay. There were bees and butterflies out and everything. It was weird. But one of these days, sometime in April, hopefully, we'll get for real spring. Usually our last frost date is actually at the beginning of May sometime, but I think it'll be in April this year because climate change and El Nino. Anyway, Land of Daughters is a beautiful local company that is run by two Métis women, I think mother and daughter. Anyway, they make really lovely products. So I got these last spring and I still haven't quite used them up, but I'm hoping they make some more this spring. This is a solid perfume and this is just a spray, but they both actually smell like lilacs. This is a lighter, you get a bit of a scent of something like that I think is alcohol before it evaporates for like half a second. And then this is a bit of a deeper, darker version of lilac, but they both actually do smell like lilac, which makes me so happy. I love lilac so much. And then two of my other favorite things that have nothing to do with witchy things, well, they could, are a couple of the fountain pens I've been using at work. So I got this Hongdian one. I don't know, sometime in March. Because I think it was in my March acquisitions. And this one I got for Christmas. This is a Wordsworth in Black pen, and I'll link them down below. But they've got a beautiful weight to them. Like, I've got a few other Lamy ones, which are fun and colorful and everything, but these ones feel substantial. You know, they've got a little bit of substance to them, it feels like. So anyway, those are some of my favorite odds and ends for March. That'll probably go up sometime in April, probably attached to a plant video of some sort, because they're also my favorites. But I don't have the energy to film a whole garden update today, so I will do that later. This will be just a quick garden update since I've transplanted most of my plants. I've got some spinach and daisy and plantain. These spinach are doing really well here. And the auroch, which is adorable, and catnip in a cat mug. The wild strawberries are also doing amazing, and it will be an abundant mint and thyme year this year from the looks of things. More plantain, more peppers, some bee balm. They're not outside because I just finished going through them all and making sure they were all doing okay. The ground ivy, which I've partially put against a skewer. Then down here, lots of lettuces. What is this? A tomatillo, I think. Basil. Most of these don't have markers because the birds will steal them anyway. So what's the point? Mizuna. Lupins I've got there, and marshmallow, and more basil. Lots of basil, some oregano, marjoram? Is that marjoram? Yeah, it is. Parsley and chervil. And what is this? It's like milk thistle, maybe. I think it's milk thistle. Anyway, they're doing pretty good. All right, over here I've got some asparagus, calendula, chard, more calendula, more asparagus, and marigolds, which I plant every year for my late grandma, because she planted them all the time on her concrete block fence, cinder block fence. Some cucumbers and squash and tomatoes, which I've finally staked up because they were falling all over each other. Sweet peas. What is that? Rhubarb. Sunflowers, which I think had a bit of transplant shock, but they might be okay now. Flax. The flax is a bit droopy. But oh well. What is this? Is this more ground ivy or is this the valerian? That's the valerian. And oh, some hyssop, which is encroaching on the ground ivy. And some motherwort. And more sweet peas. And then, what have I got over here? More, this is the spearmint. I've got a whole bunch of different mints. I can't always tell them all apart. And then a whole bunch of basils, a lot of lemon basil, a lot of purple basil. And then, ooh, the light's gone funny. Some summer savory, lavender. The lavender fell over and emptied the pot onto my balcony, so it's not really very happy at the moment. But the self-heal, which also definitely had transplant shock, seems to be recovering. It was struggling for a bit. One of them died, but these two seem to be okay. Are these feverfew? They always look a bit parsley-like. Mullein, more ground ivy, but a littler one. Plantain. What is this? Echinacea. And then more echinacea. Some tarragon. And then a whole slew of lettuces that are all fighting for space. So I may have to transplant. I've got a couple of these called Drunken Woman lettuce. Maybe not a very flattering name, but they get very long and just sort of go everywhere. So it might need its own little territory at some point. Anyway, that's the state of my balcony garden at the moment. Although it's not on the balcony because I did my weekly plant, I don't know, check-in inspection, made sure they're all okay. And they're doing amazing. Oh, and so is my lime tree. It's very happy these days, which makes me very happy. Lime trees also smell amazing, if you've never smelled a lime tree. Anyway, that's all for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.